Hey, what's up, guys? So I just finished grinding through the automaton tower. It's even easier than it was last time, it feels. But gonna do my ML summon here, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do my mystics. Talk about that a little bit. Like, I want ML Ravi more than ML CC, but I feel like just getting an extra 8 summons for free would be nice, you know? And I get a 3-star. Is it new, at least? Probably not. At least it's a speed imprint, I guess. But, let's go ahead and do these mystics. Looking at this here, like, I was debating not doing it. Because, like, I have Tenembria, I don't want Time Matter. I don't really need any of these, anything down here in the bottom, and I already have ML Zerato. But then I looked at it next week, and it's the same case here. Like, I just want ML Ravi. So I might as well just do a last-ditch effort to try and get CC. And if I don't get her, then I can go ham on... Like, I'm getting Ravi regardless. I'm gonna pick her with my selector if I don't get her. I just have insane gear for her, I'm picking her regardless. So might as well try and get Cecilia. I got 16 summons here. Let's just see what happens. Let's just skip through it. Not gonna waste your guys' time with animations. Let's just skip. We'll know if it's something worth it, like it is right now. Well, that's not what I wanted. Well, I wanted this for. Well, that's 30 dust. Oh. I think that maxed out my second Arius. Which isn't a big deal, but cool. Alright, I got 10 more. Kind of figured this was gonna happen. Oh well. At least I get 400 back. Figured why not. Three more. Go all the way. Oh. Well, that triple S is my fighter Maya. So that's not bad. I mean, for what it's worth, that wasn't terrible. I did get the 5-star artifact, even though it's garbage. And I did get an imprint, but that's alright, I guess. So, since I just finished the automaton tower, I got this insane necklace, actually, and I'm gonna level it up here. It's this one. Like, this thing is absolutely insane. Let's just see what happens with it. Pretty sure I could plus 15 it right now, obviously. Let's just do these one at a time in case I get... Great. Nice, an 8 defense roll. I don't really care about the effectiveness roll, but I'll definitely take an 8 defense roll. Okay, that was 4 crit damage. That's not great, but... Oh, wow. I thought I didn't roll in anything. Oh my god. That's so good. What was that, a 7? Okay, I got one more roll. I honestly hope it lands... Like, I want defense again, to be honest. Defense or a high crit damage or a high crit chance roll. I don't want effectiveness. So, let's just see what happens. So you get that great there, you don't want to waste experience. Let's just do these one at a time. Sweet. And then we'll just do that to finish it out. Okay, at least it rolled the fence. It's not bad. It's actually a sick necklace that might go right on Corvus. What else did we get? I think the ring I got is trash. It can potentially hit those two, but I don't even want to risk it. Like, I'd much rather level something else up that's good. I think I have rings that I have to finish leveling. Like this one, I need to finish leveling this. How's that? That's terrible. Go speed. Okay, well, it was speed. 2 speed. That's not terrible. For, you know, item 71, that's not bad. And then, what else do we have in here? I have this one, which isn't rolling too bad. Might as well finish it up. Just do these one at a time. No flat. Okay, not bad. It's a pretty decent ring. And what else? I am kind of curious about this next. This next is not bad. I mean, it's got all defensive subs. Let's just see what happens with it. I just want high rolls. Okay, not rolls there. Let's see what this last roll is. Effect resist. God. I mean, it's still a crit damage deck, and all the subs are good. Maybe I'll just finish it. Why not? Okay. God, 5. This thing is not rolling well. Well, I think I'm going to stop there for that. Just kind of wanted to go through the automaton stuff. Like, it's really easy. Just knock it out. The ML pool kind of sucked for me, but it's whatever, I guess. I don't want to end this video right now, so I'm getting questions like, since a lot of people are dumping their summons, they're pulling units that are getting nerfed. So I'm going to go talk about nerfs real quick. And kind of go over the units and give what I'm personally planning on doing and my point of view, because some people are interested, and could do that. So let's just go to the notes here. Can you load faster? Okay. Pure balance. I think it's this one, right? The cooldown for her skill was displayed incorrectly? Did they not mean to increase the cooldown? Oh wait, no, they still did. Okay, so Araminta, like, should you recall, should you build if you just pulled her? It really depends on where you're at in the game. Like, she's not going to be as oppressive as she was, especially like landing 2 burns is kind of a big deal because her damage won't be that good, but still, if you're going to get hit with 2 ticks of burns 2 times, you're probably going to die depending on what unit that is. So she's still going to be good on turn 1. She still has 100% stun, but in longer drawn out fights, she's not going to do much. She's probably still okay in PvE. But as for being an oppressive unit and top end PvP, I don't think she's that it anymore. Because people already had ways of dealing with her, and now she's even easier to deal with. So that's just my 2 cents on that. If you want to build her and use her for PvE, I know she's good for raid and stuff, but if you want my advice, I would trade her. Like, I wouldn't bother building her. I wouldn't, like, use her while you can for the next month and then trade her for something else. That's my 2 cents on Araminta. Sage Bale and Sezin. Okay, so this is my point of view. I use Sage Bale and Sezin in a stall defense comp, right? So I'm trying to stall the enemy out, whoever's attacking me, to where they die from lightning. These changes to his kit makes it to where he can't do that no more. He can't do it effectively. Like, with the cooldown increase, he kind of needs Etika's Scepter, which I kind of ran on him anyways, but I've been running my Max Zero Ren on him lately because I think it's a little bit more effective. But that extra cooldown really cucks him because he's not going to be able to lock down teams as well anymore. Losing the CR push by 5%, that's not a big deal. Like, that's fine. But I think the biggest thing is this the chance to dispel one buff. It's gonna affect people more at higher tiers of PvP than it is at, like, if you're in Challenger, his change really doesn't do much. But Champion Plus, like, he's not gonna be as good as he was. And the reason I think that is, like, stripping one buff is great for turn 1 just for immunities, right? But the next time that comes around and you have, say you're attacking with Angelica, or like Fallen Cecilia, or anything that kind of puts buffs on your team, you know, attack buffs and all this other stuff, like, stripping one buff isn't going to do a hell of a lot when there's units out there that strip all of them. 2 was good because you could ignore barriers and still manage to get off immunity or whatever, because I use them in offense as well. Like, I did use him in offense, like, a lot. I actually hit Legend for the first time using him in offense, and I needed the 2 strip to deal with Crimson Armins and Angelicas and everything and Crows, like, all the buffs that went up on these defense teams. I needed the extra strip. And yeah, you can run Ayala's Violin, right? But then you're not going to get Etika's. You're still going to be waiting a long time for that S2 to come back off cooldown, unless you're using some kind of reset mechanic, which wouldn't be optimal anyways. And the sleep actually will apply before Ayala proc. So, say a target is buffed by an Angelica, and you're running Ayala's Violin, and they have a barrier and immunity, like, you might just strip the barrier, and then the sleep will go off, they'll be immune, and then strip the immunity. That's why he's not as good. So, in terms on turn 1, he's still okay, but if you're dying to a Sage Bale on the first turn when you attack the team, you're bringing the wrong team, and that's your fault. So, that has nothing to do with him being OP, that just has to do with you being not smart. Sorry to be blunt, but that's really what it is. If you're attacking into a Sage Bale and you die on the first turn, that's your fault. It doesn't mean the unit's OP. So, I don't think he's good anymore. He'll be okay in lower tiers of PvP where people just don't have ways to deal with him. But people have ways to deal with him already, and now he's, like, throw him in the dumpster, personally. I'm getting rid of mine in a heartbeat, and I'm getting something that's going to be useful. Also, he's just not that great in Guild War. He had one team, and it was really paired with Araminta. He had no other use for Guild War, and that's all I care about. So, there's my thoughts on Bale. If you just pulled him, I wouldn't recommend building him because he's not going to do much for you unless you just plan on sitting at Challenger 5 the entire time you play this game. Pick up a better ML. That's my thoughts on him. Arbiter Vildred, this is the buff I thought he needed, or the nerf. This is what should have been from the beginning. An attack buff was just too much for his kit. At least this way, he's still very much usable. He's still the best dog walker in the game because of the cooldown reset. But he's just really good. He's the best dog walker in the game. He's still really good on offense. Nothing really changed. And all this really nerf did was, like, if you relied on your Arbiter Vildred to die to win fights when you're using him on offense, then you're going to just be worse in PvP now. I don't know, like, using him for that was just a cheap gimmick that should have never been there. And then for defense, like, he's going to be easier to deal with. Like, I know you guys that have been watching my channel, you know, over the last couple weeks, you've seen me fight a lot of Arbiter Vildreds and how I have to deal with them. But now I don't have to necessarily deal with them that way anymore. So, I think he's good. I wouldn't necessarily recall him if I had him, but I'm not going to pick him up either. There's just other MLs that I want more. So, he's still good. Still good. I think they did a very good job. Like, this is all he needed was just to get rid of that attack buff. Because that was just too much. Okay, Crimson Armin here, I'm very against this. But, it is what it is. They gutted her. She is... I would go as far as to say she's not good anymore. 15% is like... I mean, it's better than nothing. But... I don't know, man. I just feel like it just makes your team so much easier to cleave, because literally what she does, she's on defense. You know, you could probably still use her in GVG, because she's still a good bait unit. She probably is still good on offense. Like, if you're using her with Ludwig, or you're using her with Ice Area Tam to mitigate some damage you take and to bait out some units on her, she's good for that. But... for having her sit on defense and soak damage, I don't think she's going to be nearly as oppressive as she was. I think cutting it in half was a bit too much. I understand taking off a turn of immunity, that's fine. I think that's a little bit more of a nerf for PvE than PvP, because if you don't kill Crimson Arm in turn 1, or Cleaver, then you're going to strip her anyways, so that really doesn't change anything. You know, in more upper tiers of PvP, but... the AoE damage, like Judge Kisei Oxlots is going to run rampant. Ice Area, the team I'm running is going to get significantly better because of this nerf. And people are just going to have to find a way to mitigate damage on your team, either through evasion mechanics, but you can run Oath Key against that. Sacrificing damage anyways, so that's a possibility, like running Fat Cat instead of her. But that team's still going to get cleaved. Like, so cleaves are about to go crazy. So what I would recommend is invest in some anti-cleave stuff aside from Crimson Armin. And by that I mean really tanky units with revive mechanics, units that have a damage cap like Inquisitor, Evasion, stuff like that. That's where the meta is going to go, I think. Especially with, like, Bale getting nerfed. Like... people are going to have to find ways to counter Cleaves and Ice Area Tam, which is the meta right now anyways. So they just made the offense better, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but we'll just have to see where it goes from here. So that's my thought on all the nerfs. As for, like, which unit you should pick, like, it's really up to you. Like, what do you want to do? Like, what unit do you like? Let's just go look at the options. I'll just give my 2 cents. Moonlight. Okay, the first option, Fallen Cecilia. I think with the Crimson Armin's nerf, she's going to be a lot better. She's really good now, but she's going to just be even better. Of course, she's waifu. I personally like the goth-looking girls, but that's neither here or there. She's just got a great kit. She's really good. She can kind of perform the role of Crimson Armin with an Arius. Like, you're not going to get as much damage reduction, but she also comes with, you know, a consistent barrier, which is damage reduction, in a sense, and the skill nullifier on top of that. So she is definitely a good choice. I'm not saying replace Crimson Armin with her, but if you're looking for an ML5 to pick, it's definitely one that I would recommend. Apocalypse Ravi, this is the one I'm I'm going to pick her. Just like you saw that necklace I just made, right? Like, that's going to go on her. I have an insane ring for her. I just have really good gear for her. So that's why I'm going to pick her up. I like her kit. I think she's really going to be good in GVG offense. She's essentially like a Maid Chloe, kind of, to where your team just won't die. Just build her tanky enough. And then, like, I wish I had a Crow or something, but I definitely have plans for her. I'm gonna get her. Like, it's gonna happen. If I don't pull her from Mystic, if I pull her from Mystic, I'm gonna grab a different one with my selector. But if I don't get anything at all, then I'll likely just select her that way. But she's good. Her kit's awesome. So yeah, can't really go too much more into that because she's not in the game yet. ML Ken, he's still good. Like, he's a good unit if you like him. Like, I know a lot of people like him. He's gonna be, without Crimson Armand though, like on defense, he's gonna be a lot easier to just cleave. I know a lot of people like shout out to Damone, he won't attack them with Crimson Armand because he can't cleave them with Jake Kisei. I personally don't like attacking them with Ice Area Tam either. It just really depends. If I'm in a situation where Ken is the last unit left, sometimes he can just wipe my whole team. So he's still good. He's good in GVG as well. Arbiter Vildred is still a solid choice if you like him. I kind of went over him already a little bit. Like, he's the best dog walker in the game. He's really good on offense. He's still going to be decent on defense as well if built correctly. Dark Corvus is my second choice. If I end up pulling ML Ravi, I will be selecting Dark Corvus. He's just an I win button in all areas of PvP. That's really all it is. Obviously, people went through pre-nerfed Automaton Tower with him too, but I don't ever see us having to use him for PvE again after the backlash they got. Maid Chloe is really good right now. She's another I win button pretty much for offense because you could just keep reviving your team. On defense, she's a little bit easier to deal with because of strips and stuff, but on offense, she's just top tier. And Jake Kisei, I wouldn't recommend grabbing her unless you have an Oxlots. Yeah, she's waifu, but for her to shine, like, she really needs that Tag of Hell, she really needs a Soul Burn turn 1, and, like, you can use her fast, but I think the best way to use her is to cleave. They turned her into one of the best cleavers in the game, and Ruel is just Ruel. Everyone knows what she does, everyone likes her, she's a solid pick as well. She's going to be, I think she got slightly nerfed with the Crimson Armand nerf. She's going to be a lot easier to delete, so people might be building her even more tanky now. Or, I don't, like, building her fast, I don't see that being a thing. Like, she's got the highest base defense in the game. So, she's insane. Great pick. So there's for ML5s. As for ML4s, just pick whatever you like, man. They're all good. Oh, there's Tenembria too. Tenembria is also really good. Don't pick Specimen Says, you're going to regret it. Tenembria is actually really good. She's great for GVG. Just the stealth mechanic is just really good, and she actually has crazy damage output. As for who to pick for 4-star, just pick whoever you want. Like, they're all... I'll just tell you the ones I wouldn't pick. I wouldn't pick Wanderer Silk. I wouldn't pick Champion Zerato. Like, he's cool, but I just wouldn't pick him. I probably wouldn't pick Guider Aether. And I wouldn't pick Dingo. Like, his kit's cool, but he really doesn't do anything well. I wouldn't pick Rin. And that's really it. All the rest of them are fairly good, and they're all in a good spot. So just go through their kits, see what you like, see what you want to use, find synergy with the units you have, and pull that one. People say Assassin Sid is bad, but he's not. He's very good. He's really fast, and you can use him to snipe stuff. So, he's good. I would love to pull an Assassin Sid, but that's my 2 cents on that whole thing. Hopefully I helped out some of you guys. If you have any more questions, just drop them in the comments. If you enjoyed this, drop a like, and if you're new here, sub. You guys have a good one. Later.